flashed, you just go, whatever, move on, we'll check this out next time, done. So, ooh, I'm seeing a breach, hello. Hiya.
I'm loving what I'm seeing. Again, that's obviously, I guess you could say, in replacement of the Phoenix from the previous map, but other than that, Bonk as well running the Brimstone, and that's something we've seen phased out on other maps. Obviously, the Omen being, I guess, more versatile in terms of, you know, setups for entries onto sites. So
global smokes.
Yeah, but we know how strong Brim can be in a post-plant situation as well with his utility. You see Sayf open things up onto Fearoth. That's the freest pistol round kill you're going to find. But the rest of the stack comes down B long, and they're going to try and look for an entry regardless.
I love this. I really love that. Sayf, big commitment off the back of it. A little bit individual, no kind of coupling play to support it. So Aaron's now like, all right, I guess you're going to leave me on my own. Cool. Too much time can be bought here. That's a big question. Smoke's going in. You can see the execution being highlighted here. And they're going to be getting the pressure going. Aaron, instantly removed. NIP back with the player advantage. The spike should be able to make it towards the site as well, pretty uncontested. And the pace has now been picked up from Nip. This is their map choice, keep in mind. So you've got to feel they picked this for a reason, and you've got to hope that they can deliver more than we just saw.
Yeah, and actually get into a bit of a scrap here. The spike going to retreat all the way back, but you've seen the last man standing. He does have a little bit of utility, and a couple of the Nip players are low HP, but I think they're just going to challenge here. He does find one, but the trade comes in. It was a bit of a weird way that one kind of turned out, considering First Blood did go in favor of the defenders.
Yeah, honestly, I love seeing Omen. Still, I think his smokes are so versatile. I actually don't. I main Brim. I mean, I think he's fantastic, but I think currently to have the ability to put those global smokes in is just so useful. Beyond that, though, nice little start for Sayf there, but as I said, a little bit individual trying to cross out on that, kind of leaving the poor old Cypher out on a bit of a limb. But again, you've got to hope that if Nips pick this map, they've got a nice, well-rounded approach to it. We do see the kind of standardized buy. These grenades, this spam that could come out from Yacine could be massive. Good chunks of damage if given the opportunity to do so. This would be the prime opportunity to do so. Cage up. Boom bot in. They know there's someone close. Lucker gets him.
Yeah, Yacine actually weirdly challenging through the cage there. But Nip will find the first 2 kills on the round. Bonkar poised with a shorty inside lamps, but actually Lucker. Wow, that was actually a really clean headshot there, and using the tailwind to get out a dodge down to 30 HP, but another kill goes in favor of Nip, and it's just Sayf on the breach left, and he's all the way over in the attacker's spawn, actually back over towards the cage, so probably going to look for an exit here. But not a big investment on the side of Nip, so again, any kills he gets here, it's not really going to be too impactful in the grand scheme of things.
Very true. I do have to warn, I might need to go and check if all my windows are shut, because I just thought maybe a truck was going past, but I think it's a thunderstorm. So I'm going to have to go check all my windows are shut and make sure that I don't turn my tiny apartment into a swimming pool. So you know what? I'm going to leave you with this next round. Take us through it, bud. I'll be right back. Yeah, catch you in a sec.
Best of luck to you. You're going to have Bonk now obviously on their first buy round, and Lucker, I'm assuming, gonna opt for an operator here, but currently only seeing a Spectre on the board. You see another stack over towards B site, and let's see, outside Fountain majority, but we do have that lurker over on A short as well. Keep an eye on the minimap, see if he tries to show any presence towards A site. Sayf now. Interestingly enough, the operator in the hands of the breach for Bonk. It's not usually one we see, but like I said, he's more of an enabler in terms of his utility. Algebra comes through, doesn't really get too much information, but the paint shell through the teleporter going to do a little bit of chip damage before they make their way through window. But looking like we're going to have a full B hit again here from NIP.
Back, no worries. Let's have a little catch up. It looks like again a nice B piece coming through. Already Sayf though, going to find a bit of performance with that up. Needs a bit more, going to be helped out on the angle to play it back in. No spike planted yet either, so keeping him busy on that site.
Yeah, and relatively uncontested on the way in. Spike's going to finally go down, but they're very cautiously clearing the site. before committing to the plant. So I kind of like that. Sayf going to send an aftershock through from elbow. Not going to find any damage off that, but again, the player's boxed in on site here, so possibility of Bonk doing some damage here and potentially retaking in a 3v2 situation.
Fuse being toyed with. What can the side? Okay, this side can really do much. Rhyme, nah, outdone. How many alive do they have? 4. That's not bad. And they're going to try and build up their players in the correct way, give those ult points in the right direction. And again, it's what we kind of hoped for, is this close game between these two. Damn. I'm loving this. Honestly, bring me more of this going forward. Oh my god, that thunder is so freaking loud. It keeps like shaking my apartment.
I was just saying, mine actually went down yesterday during a thunderstorm, so this is not good.
We'll see how far we get.
All 3 casters currently.
Yeah. Well, look, Lee's in the same city as me, so me and D-Man might be out of there, and you might have to do the solo cast. I don't know. It might happen.
Get me some Monka S in chat.
We'll see. Lucka on the off as well, though, so this could be a nice little game to watch unfold. Bit of a default to start with, no big aggression. I am seeing a double stack down B long, though, for the defensive side, which I quite like. I love defensive side aggression. The Sage is ready to meet it. That's it. Well read. Yeah,
Hip gonna find that one, and again, not sure why he's swinging that D. They've got the information. Nobody's kind of over peeking Fountain, and again, Sayf on the breach there to kind of set up a peek if necessary. And Hip's actually going to find a second down there with the Bulldog, and that's a lower investment weapon. So to find that value off this on NIP's first buy round, as I say that, CREA will fall. Yacine just going to blast pack, hop his way over, but Fearoth will find it nonetheless. And Bonk now down to just 2 players standing. NIP going to send the spike back over towards A short here.
Oh, it's good luck, mate. Here he goes. Casual 1v4. There's 1. There's 2. Oh, don't get me excited. He's made it possible. It's now a 1v2 rather than, what, a 2v4? How many of these have we seen happen?
I mean, Bonkar was winning these on Haven. That's all I'm going to say.
He wins these? Is that the phrase we're going for? We might have to. We'll see. Let's see if he gets the first. Oh, the gun barrel shown. The pre-fire! What an error from Fearoth! Oh, dear.
Just through her shoulder, yeah.
And now we have one left. Lucka tucked in the corner, trying to play the time. Bonker has no idea. Does he see anything? No, nothing given away just yet. Lucka waits as a thunder booms through my apartment, peeking on the spike. Every couple of seconds, another fake comes in. He's got to be careful. I think he knows where he is now. Bonker's got to go now, or it's never. Lucka's buying time so well. He's done everything he has to do. Beautifully played by Lucka.
And I was going to say, it came down there. Lucka being the operator in hand, he had to land that first shot should he choose to take a peak battle with Bonkar, but he definitely made it close. That was such an unfortunate time in there. Bonkar throwing a shoulder into Lamps netted him the kill in the end, but you see now, and this is interesting economy management here. Lucka obviously with the Blade Storm available, he's going to pass the operator off to his teammate again with the hopes of maybe just popping this one off the rip and seeing if you can find an entry somewhere. And there you go. You hear it ring out.
Yep. You can see if they can find anything with it to start with, but once you hear that, you're not getting too fruity on the old pushes. Ziz has to keep it pretty calm. I like the use of the smokes here. Ooh, not bad. That's drawn a shot. That's giving away the game. Lovely. I'll take that. 2 smokes for the sake of knowing where the attacking team's going. Yeah.
It's a heavy shower stack as well. Look, there's 4 players up here with the lurking mid as usual with the Cypher, but I kind of don't like a stack this heavy towards showers. It's very much a bottleneck on the A site. You can see the dark cover going to come out. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The orbital strike is available as well.
There it is. There comes the ult. Suddenly, everyone's isolated. Where's the jet? There it is. Lucka makes a break forward, finds Yacine, finds Years, and suddenly,
I know exactly where you are.
I don't know how the hell they've gotten away with this. Lucka is having a belter of a round. Spike now planted. They're in such a favorable spot. It's time to save these guns if you can. Sayf, get out of there. 10 HP, using everything possible to try and make the great escape. just about makes it through back by Spawn, but yeah, that is all down to that jet play.
Yeah, I mean, the orbital strike comes in on Tetris. And, I mean, the only thing luckeRRR can do there is cloudburst to get back. He'd already used his dash to get onto site, so he couldn't dash out of the orbital strike. But he somehow snuck his way under heaven and finds 2 kills off the Blade Storm. And that was all they needed in the end. A really impressive turnaround, actually, from NIP in this round. Rhyme potentially finding Aaron lurking down by the fountain here. He's just going to wait for a teammate to come and peek it with it, but actually, no, he's going to swing on it and find the headshot himself. That was a really nice round from NIP. Again, I was worried with the orbital strike being available. They were all 4 stacked up inside showers there, but I guess the information coming through a little too late and it gets committed to Tetris instead.
Yeah, luckeRRR did really well with that. luckeRRR, forget to buy armor? Don't forget it, luckeRRR, please. No. There we go.
There we go.
All good. I mean, I've seen it in like majors where people forget to buy armor, so I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna pretend that couldn't happen. But for now, NIP with a decent enough start here. I think considering the economy is the way it is, it's gonna take a big round from Bonk to get this one. So it's looking like this could be a 5-1. Yacine gonna back away from this. Bit of a trade out over towards that short play coming through. That was weird. Like a doubled up sound for me there, but the play's still happening over towards B. This is just kind of going through the motions. This is nice together play from NIP, and that's what I want to see in anti-ecos. Don't let threats come across too easily. Make them work for it.
Yeah, stacking up, playing that buddy system. There's always a trade available. Bonkar going to send out the Aldro and try and find some information here. luckeRRR still hasn't been spotted, tucked into the corner of Octagon there. But I guess they're going to be leaning towards a B hit, but nobody really here to back bonkar up on the site. I mean, he's keeping them at bay for the time being, but when the push comes through, again, I think they're just going to try and damage the economy. They're aware of the teleporter lurk. You can see Hip looking back to check that. Paranoia comes through, and here's going to be the B hit.
Yeah, they know bonkar's on the site, but they've definitely seen that. They just need to clear it out well enough. As much as I like them playing the buddy system, there's also a time limit you want to keep in mind. You don't want to leave it late where threats can happen. Nice wall. This is lovely. This is really good from Nip. Again, we saw errors from NIP, but this looks like a much more versed team in this. They seem like they're approaching this in a very calm manner. Whereas Bonk's trying to create a little bit of chaos here, and Yacine would love to get a freebie off this. This going down makes it trickier for Yacine to find much. Swing. No miss on the first, but Hip is there. So 1 loss, not the end of the world. I'll take that.
No, you're absolutely right. Really, really solid damage control from NIP there. Again, we've seen a number of 50 rounds come out of the bag. I mean, come out of nothing today. So I'm definitely all for it. And I mean, look at it now. NIP just, they're rolling in money.
Oh yeah, the cash is phenomenal. The double offers the instant answer. It's such an all-in play. I mean, it can work, but it's such a costly thing to have to invest into. Instantly popping the ult though, they're getting great info. Look at the play from the Rays behind everyone. Now they might get a slight misread, which could cause a. Did he run out of time? Did he just run out of time as the animation went?
Yeah.
He's pissed and he lands a shot anyway, but that's frustrating as hell.
Yeah, it almost looked like he fired a blank out, but he finds the kill nonetheless. Aldo, I'm going to come through window here. Lee's got me well trained, I'm not saying it anymore. And that's going to try and find some information on B site, but there's already a triple stack over here from the defenders. Hunter's Fury gets invested just outside elbow. Not going to find any damage initially, but it does force NIP out of the window temporarily. But no information gained from the Hunter's Fury either, and that's, usually if... I mean, they've got the benefit. Yacine pushed all the way out into showers, and he knows there's not a stack over there, and he came out short. So that's why they have 3 defenders over here. And actually, CREA actually got away with this. He has. luckeRRR dashes onto site, but gets picked off. And there you go. CREA's there, good for the trade.
CREA, again, excellent at creating these opportunities, but here comes Sayf. That's a nice bit of play, but they've got to be quick to try and bounce off the back of it. Sayf putting down all that utility, but all his teammates are falling, which is the bigger problem. So now Sayf trying to find anything. The spike isn't down, though, so time isn't ticking favorably just yet for Nip. Hip gonna get that one down. Aaron's on the side. He's right there, but the cage just goes away, and Hip goes down. I thought it was gonna go the other way now, but Sayf still trying to play it out as best he can, but how much more time can he buy here? It looks like he's doing everything possible. There it is. Holds the defuse. Not really in a position for the post plant.
Again, just really good composure there in the post plant situation from Bonk. And we saw them kind of, I want to say, flex that on Haven. Again, they're not quick to rush in. The trades come in their favor when somebody from NIP pushes forward to try and shut off the rotation coming through to the site. And again, just a really solid retake there. Sayf's done fantastically well to use his utility to buy that much time and stall out the spike going down. And ultimately, the plant position is the reason they lost that round. It has to go down in the tube because of Sayf's presence in elbow. And then the operator can't get anything done. And there you go, Sayf finding luckeRRR outside showers to kick this round off.
Yeah, Fearoth trying to carve a path forward, following the little boom bot. Bonker might just put down the owl drone as a little bit of a counter. See, bit of a both side of things yet, both seeing each other's owl drones, so they know roughly where one is. Spots a second. This ain't bad. This is a lot of info found now, so this execute on the site, but they don't know about Raze. They have not seen Raze yet, and she could be a pivotal factor. Yacine there, finding Hip, looking good. Can't make more, but damage surely from those grenades going to come through. Yes, 9 HP for CREA, but they're getting the kill still.
Yeah, and this is going to draw the rotation over, but Fearoth again answering back, finds Sayf, and now Bonk find themselves in a 2v3 retake. It's very much doable. Sage has fallen, so CREA not going to be able to get a heal. And you can see Ziz is going to swing on this. Did he see it? No, he didn't, and they both misfire a little bit here. And that's just going to put the incendiary out just to try and close out that kill, knowing full well CREA was as low as he was. But Spike goes down on Tetris. And CREA coming back to challenge Lamps.
Ziz still waiting, and with his buddy falling, they know where he is. Locked in here, unlikely to be able to have escaped, but they also want to keep themselves alive. NIP poised to potentially get to 6. Ziz trying to do what he can to maybe make some damage happen, find a little bit of a play to begin with. CREA's the first, surely, to be the weaker target. No, it's Rhyme to find him in the end, as NIP bounce back again. Lovely work there, I thought, with that pickup of a kill coming in for the Raze. I was like, oh, okay, maybe game back on, but no, they succeeded in plenty of ways. And the information they got off the back of their sober from Fearoth was massive.
Yeah, it was. Nipper looking very, very well coordinated here. Again, both teams kind of exercising a very, I don't want to say passive, maybe cautious approach to one another. But again, the heavy reliance on kind of like site executes here and slowly clearing, finding ground across the map. I mean, it's really fantastic to see the difference in approach. luckeRRR just going for a couple of love taps through the Lamps wall, and bonkar gonna be on the receiving end of a couple of them. But I'm liking what I'm seeing so far from NIP. They've obviously written map 1 off, and they're not holding it in their heads.
We're now poised again for this A piece coming in. A bit of a different approach, following again the owl drone coming out through the shower. There goes the smokes towards heaven. They go in quickly. It was a little early on that one, but they're going to go for it regardless. You're seeing waiting patiently, but only on pistols. How much are you going to get done? That's an execution.
Yeah, I love that. The charge down just before the neural theft ping comes off, and luckeRRR gonna just aggro his way into the backside of Lamps and finds 2 on the round. And again, just that caution they're exercising. It might not seem like much, but look at the money. And now if you think about it, they've gone 2 rounds, lost 1, 3 rounds, lost 1, and then 2 rounds. Every single round they're winning, they're keeping like 4 alive, at least. And now, I mean, the rest of the half is free in terms of economy. They could lose 3 back-to-back rounds here and still be fine.
Yeah, you're spot on. I'm a bit worried that this might be a a bad map for Bonk overall. Ascent would be third. Maybe getting a little ahead of myself here. We're not even at the end of the first half, but 7-2 is quite a commanding score. It's quite a good approach. I'd like to say as well, this isn't an easy attacking-sided map either. You could argue maybe on Haven, attack can be quite strong. I think this is a little bit trickier, if I'm honest. I'm not saying it's massively biased, but I'd say the defensive side should be on par. Now, as I said, 2 rounds, not a lot. Yacine poised to get contact. He's got the support of the breach, but do they commit? A couple of steps here and there will definitely show presence. Yacine backing away, going to keep some tabs towards long as they don't have anyone watching that right now. Nice work from Sayf. Doesn't back from the angle either. Double dips. This could be the res coming in. There we go. 3 players now spotted. Nice timing for the res to go, but only good for 1. I thought more would come from that.
Yeah, and it's ultimately hip. The life of a Sage there. Gets the revive off, and Sayf just caught the backside of Fearoth sneaking into elbow, and we'll find it with the operator who's looking for a second, but nobody else there. Sends the fault line back down short now, and here you go. The teleporter rotation comes through, and Bonk looking to shut this one down. Actually, apologies, it was Rhyme actually coming through the teleporter there to back up his teammates. Bonk absolutely shutting down this push towards B, and the orbital strike going to buy a lot of time and actually going to find luckeRRR. And look at the clock, Lauren. It's running down now. Yep. Are they going to be able to get this down?
4 seconds.
Nope.
Nah, not going to happen. Bonkar there. They're not going to go down without a fight, these boys. And 5 standing is good for their money. They don't have to reinvest. They get to try and stabilize to close out this game as best they can. Now, the money's been good for Nip, though. They sit on a good margin. They've been, claiming these rounds pretty well. A couple of answers here and there, but overall, they've strung them together. Now, coming into this one, I want to see Bonkar hold this again. I want to see this be another close game, but I still think you need 5 rounds here, minimum.
I absolutely agree with you there. It's I think based on how the previous map went, it wouldn't surprise me if things tighten up in terms of the round score overall. But you're absolutely right. Bonk not rolling over and taking this one. They're fighting back, that's for sure.
Need to find that form, because Nip are looking pretty raring to go. This seems much more comfortable for them, pound for pound. And when you look at the maps, this is a very different look to what it was on Haven. So
yeah,
if you're G2, and I know David P was in chat, I know these boys watch the games, they'll be thinking, wow, okay, we know what we're picking in a best of 3 if we need to. If we want to pick to their weaknesses rather than our strengths, because they have strengths on every map, there's definitely some options now.
But Bind is a map that G2 have avoided. I said that earlier. It's and again, I don't know if there's a reason for that, or they just say we're good on every map, we're just better on the others. I think that's definitely a card that G2 has to play, but back to this one, you can see 4 members coming down towards A short now. Paranoia comes through, and the tailwind from luckeRRR. He's got the Blade Storm popped. Not going to find his in with the right clip, but yeah, CREA swings on it as well and finds his.
I love it. I love that they take these fights. That's really, really good synergy with your buddies. The double peak on it is perfect. Now, going in, CREA continues form. CREA is still one of my favorite players. I have not seen him had a huge game as of late, but honestly, if he gets warmed up, one of the best omens there is, in my opinion. Now, post-plant positions, 3 in a row, make the right peaks, boys. Hip might have to be sacrificed, but honestly, against 2, I don't see them losing many more players.
No, it's not. Rhyme's got himself tucked into Tetris as well. You see, fine, Sayf. Yacine actually just up in there. Maybe Hip's playing on 60 FOV, but didn't spot Yacine on top of the truck there. But again, just the rounds that NIP are winning here,
thanks.
It's like they're not even breaking sweat. They're literally just, they're in set formation every single time post-plant. There's crossfire set up. Everybody's watching a different angle. And on the entry as well, just to come back to that, the double peak, I absolutely love it as well. Blade Storm goes in. If he doesn't land the right click, it's Jet. He can just B-hop in there, fly around for a second. CREA just comes in, pops his head.
Did I just see a double AWP on the attacking side? I guess if you got the funds,
you got the money.
Why not? At worst, you just juggle the gun away anyway. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? Last round of the half, right? So
yeah,
they could literally just have a gun on the floor.
Exactly. Yep.
Well, so far it's paid off. Already the first pick. A little bit of a look from Hookah from that window room. Oh, they're getting a little peeky here. Yacine going to run into CREA, and CREA goes down. Nice little bit of an information play, a little bit of a counter, a little bit of an equalizer, but no information garnered. You don't get much info from losing or winning those fights. Now, Rhyme going to be smoked off. Ooh, he's tempted to play ahead of that, and they're reading this well.
Yeah, Yacine just foaming at the mouth on the other side. He's going to walk in. Okay. Yeah, a bit overzealous there. The sky smoke's down. You can just hold it, buddy. Now the recon bolt tag comes through. The Hunter Fury follows up. luckeRRR's there to kill Zizd and the killing blow at least. And now Bonk in the last round of the first half find themselves in a 2v4 for the retake on A site.
This is strong. These two players trying to run it back. That's Sayf, a little ahead. Aaron trying to work off the back of that wall, keeping him a little safe to the right. Cage goes up. Down goes Aaron. And now bonkar. This clutch might be a little beyond him, even after his heroics in the previous. Rhyme says no. This is a commanding scoreline.
That I wouldn't have called that coming into the into map 2. I'm not sure if this is just a weak map for Bonk, or I see a couple of people in chat saying Bonk are much better on attack than they are on defense. Obviously there is a team composition factor we can discuss.
Map.
It's their least played map. Okay, so Twitch chat being Twitch chat currently.
It's their least played. Yeah. They have a good win rate. They beat Party Parrots on it, but it's not one of their heavy picks. Their current most picked is Haven, Split, and then Ascent. So Bonk, this may just not be one of their matches that they love to play. Again, though, it's a small pool of information. You got to keep that in mind, of course. But into this, obviously switching up. Pistol is required for Bonk. It's part of the win condition here. You want that comeback, you got to get the pistol.
Yeah, and again, terrifying to have NIP on the edge of double digits. Aldrone going to come through. Going to get a tag in elbow, and there is a triple stack on B site right now, but they've only got information on 2 members, but Ziz will find luckeRRR, and that could be the entry they're looking for. They've got to be careful, though, because like I said, they only had information on 2. So do they expect the triple stack over here? Fault line goes through, and again, I like that lineup. Nobody there to follow up on it, but that's the kind of thing that Breach brings to the table.
Ooh, we've seen 26 HP is not ideal. Back away from that. Have a look elsewhere. And yeah, NIP do have a slightly better record on this map, but it's also one of their least played. It's not in the pool they often get. They did beat G2, 13-8. It's a big name to have, but again, it's not one of their most played. So it's, again, this is a weird map. Certainly worse for Bonk than Nip, but still, for now, Aaron's still trying to get that challenge, and sometimes the ghosts hit, sometimes they don't. It's that feeling like sometimes you just tap the heads like that. Exactly like that! Rhyme shows them how it's done, and now Bonk left with 2 up against the 3 of NIP, but look at the time, it's dwindling.
Yeah, he's running out of it. I felt like they were... I mean, I don't want to say I felt like they were in a position to take that round after the first blood, but just a lot of hesitation. A lot of hesitation there, Lauren. And I mean, when you backs against the wall in terms of the map, not the series, because obviously this is going to bring it to 1-1. That's not what you want to be showing your opponent, because I mean, NIP are a very talented team, and if they choose to punish that hesitation, I think they're very much capable of it.
I'm with you. Ascent would be 3rd if it's needed. Right now, look, Nip is looking like they want to get there. That is their end goal, and then it becomes the win. But here, we want to see something. They need some good elements to come through for Bonk. And while that's not the start they need, Yacine going down somewhat for free is far from it. Fearoth from afar, just going to keep them at arm's length as well. Doesn't need to get too involved. Rhyme finally gets overwhelmed, but luckeRRR's turned up. They've got this locked down. And again, that's a stunner from Ziz, but he's got to find more, and luckeRRR is just... He's on the loose. That's a nice little spike play, though. That's not bad. That's going to create some fear, but they ain't going through the TP.
No, and Sayf down to 15 HP. Just, I'm assuming he's gonna just try and cling on for dear life to this Spectre in his hands, because by God, are they gonna need it? This is potentially, I say potentially, it's looking like it's gonna be 11 rounds on the board here for NIP, and I mean, Bonk got to dig deep.
And I hate to say it because it's not in competitive spirit, but sometimes you got to know when you beat, and save it for the next game. And I know that's something that people don't like to hear. I'm like, no, that never happens. It happens. You know what I mean? Like, as said, if this just isn't the map, keep your head about yourselves. Don't get too flustered. Talk it out. Have a chat. Get ready for what's coming your way, because this map has been a bloodbath. It's. I want to look at their previous results up until this point for Bonk.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Lee's made a good point. Ascent, you could argue, is a weak spot for an IP.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's definitely a consideration to take going forwards in the series. Whether or not Bonk are in a position to kind of excel there and kind of capitalize on that. Again, they're gonna have to look for a couple of confidence boosters towards the end of this map, because it's hard to shrug off when you. I mean, if you get locked out 13-3,
Yeah.
that's a tilter.
It's a lot. Yeah. Considering the Bonk haven't lost a single map yet. Their semi-final, quarterfinal, they did great. Barely breaking a sweat throughout this Prodigy. They took down pretty handedly. I mean, they've done well. They haven't faced this sort of threat as of yet. And he's to be expected against NIP. Anyone doubting him after the first map will be certainly reminded why they are here at this point. Sayf taking those fights over by B-Long, doing the best he can to try and tip the scales, but CREA instantly says, no, you don't get anything. There's no success here. You try and fight, we'll take you down. Every step they take, it gets just ripped away from them.
Yeah, and again, this one got to slow down, and this is honestly what I think their downfall's been in this map. It's just hesitation. They haven't looked like they want to commit to an execute at all, and I mean, now look, when Spike's now down outside showers, it's just weird. It's just weird scenarios going on all over the place here.
It feels super individual. It feels, put a fork in it, it's done. Very one by one, again, super disconnected from each other. And the Brim had to just watch as his teammates got slaughtered. Spike recovered, but 13 seconds. Save the Phantom, save the armor. Try and do something in the next one. This has been one to write off if you're a Bonk fan. This is one that you want to forget. This isn't one you want to kind of dwell on. Think of that first map. Think of those clutches. Think how close it was. What a difference a map makes.
Yeah. I mean, there's not much else to say, to be honest with you, Lauren. It's this is a gaping hole in Bonk's performance, to be honest with you. I was excited for this one because Bind is one of those ones where it comes back to decent setups, and you end up seeing some really, really fantastic plays coming out in terms of utility. And we've not really seen that from either side. NIP haven't had to. They've just they've played a very basic attack. They just stacked up. They played trades and they found entries.
Yeah, it just doesn't look like a map that they're well versed in. Luck is so good with the movement, but couldn't escape Yacine in the end. A nice attempt, but it's the last attempt here on this map. It looks like map 3 will be a possibility, and I ain't mad. I'm actually pretty happy. Take me to the third. Let me watch more of what we saw in the first map and ignore what we saw here. Let's remember the series to be in a good and CREA waiting to play this back in, but with Hip going down, this could be around for them to dig their heels into. Utility being put to play. CREA checks on the close left. He does see Sayf, but it's too little too late. Trade comes out from Rhyme, and now Fearoth trying to find the place for himself. The reveal helps, but does he know where they are now? He knows where they're tucked towards. Yacine is still holding on.
Yeah, Yacine just finds a cheeky little headshot with the Phantom, and they will put one attacking round on the board. But again, I think in the grand scheme of things, NIP are going to be able to buy back. Well, everyone except CREA, actually. I mean, Rhyme can drop him something. Yeah, we're not going to see a weapon go over to him, so... Again...
Chat really liked your use of gaping hole.
They always do. They always do.
Yeah.
There.
It's a crowd pleaser.
It is. It always builds the energy a little bit in chat.
Get out of my way.
Oh, good luck, Bonk. It just feels like they're going back into the blender, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And I mean, it's a tall order to hold a team on match point for 8 consecutive rounds. And the way Bonk have been playing, I don't want to. I don't want to shit on them, but I doubt they're going to be able to. Yeah.
You know, when you look at some teams' strengths, you know, it's quite noticeable. And obviously, when they're not comfortable on the map, you also see it. You look at how Bonk was playing on the first. Wild. It pales in comparison. However, this B long plate could be fruitful, but they're going against 3 players dedicated to this. They aren't really falling for anything. They're not falling away because of that Cypher presence all day. Let's just take our time, see what they do. Bonk's maybe trying to work a pick, but no one's giving him much.
No, at this point, I think NIP can just play this game. They can just... I mean, it's Bonk. They have to make moves, right? And they've already kind of demonstrated that they're not capable of doing so here on Bind. So NIP reacting to what Bonk's putting out, to be honest with you.
Look at that spike. Now, with that Cypher getting some ground gain towards A, I'm probably going to kill the Jet here.
I know exactly.
Maybe the spike can make it around, but time is of the essence. 9 seconds. Rhyme's still beating Ziz, but this is weird timing. 5 seconds on the plant. Just about gets it down. I thought maybe they could have even hindered that. Not to be good damage done, but now these 2 players for Bonk have to roll it back to the first map and clutch this out.
Yeah, and they do spot the player playing that heady on top of truck, but retake breathing down on the Bonk boys here. Recon bolt there, going to give information of exactly where 1 is, but there you go. They're good for the trade. The defuse will come through, and that is a convincing victory here on Bind.
Yep. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. That was Nip was fine. They played that very well. It was. I know this sounds cruel. It's not meant to be. Nip played that in a way that honestly was fine. They looked like a team who